All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how we can create some custom application display templates for the Livingston Hotels and Resorts web team. All right. So if you're not already logged in, make sure you're logged into the platform. We're going to be working on templates on the platform from here on out. Go ahead and click on the Add button at the very top right. We're going to go ahead and add an asset publisher to the page to start. Okay, so go ahead and click on the widgets section, highlighted, and we can drag an asset publisher to the page. All right, so now we have our asset publisher on the page. Again, I can see that little drag widget there from the themelet section that we did. All right, so let's go ahead and import some blogs that we can use to display here. So open up the menu. All right, and in the site administration panel here, go ahead and click on Content and Blogs. All right, here what we're going to do is we're going to import some blogs. So we're going to have some pre-created content to work with here. So click on Options at the top right and Export Import. We're going to go ahead and import using a LAR file. If you're not familiar with that, that is a Liferay archive file that essentially contains data from a Liferay instance. Okay. Click on Import. Select File. All right, so we're going to navigate to our exercises in the 05 Customizing Applications with Templates section. Open up that first section for application display templates here. All right, and choose the Blogs Import LAR. And click Open. All right, click Continue. Click Import. All right, and once you see successful in the status section here, we can go ahead and close this. And we'll navigate back to the front page to see what the default asset publisher is going to look like. So click Go to Site. It can be found here at the left in the site administration panel. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close the menu here. All right, so we have all of our blogs on display. Okay, it doesn't look horrible, but it's not the greatest looking thing, so we want this to look a little bit better using some of those clay classes that we have available to us in our templates. Okay, so go ahead and open up your exercises, okay, in your Finder or in your file system. And again, this is going to be in C Liferay or User Home Liferay. Go ahead and open up that fifth section, Customizing Applications with Templates. And in the Application Display Template section, you will see a card display.ftl. So go ahead and open that up in Visual Studio Code. All right, so this is giving us a structure that we can actually get in the editor of the asset publisher. Okay, it's checking for our entries. We'll be able to do something with it. All right. And then we can list our entries out here. Okay, so let's start with the top section here. Go ahead and highlight that comment that says insert 09, no results message here. Type in LFR. Okay, find the 09 snippet and go ahead and enter that in. All right, so what this does is it gives us essentially a fail-safe for the case where there is no content in the asset publisher. Okay, so what it's doing in the first if section here is it is checking for a user to be signed in. If they're not signed in and there's no content, it's simply going to make the widget invisible. Okay, otherwise, what it's going to show is this message here that says these are not the blogs you are looking for. All right, so with that section in, we need to go ahead and actually do something with the content that we have. All right, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to take advantage of the asset renderer to retrieve asset information. All right, so highlight that 10th snippet section here, type in LFR, find the 10th snippet called asset renderer, and what we've added here is an assignment to a number of variables we can use that get information using the asset renderer. So we're getting the blog entry, we're getting the title, and the view URL. All right. If you want, you can go ahead and tab this over. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to actually build the structure using the card classes. So go ahead and hit enter. All right, underneath the assignment closing tag. All right, and we're going to go ahead and build our div together. So create a new div, and we're going to use some classes here. First, we're going to set up a responsive column. So we're going to use the column MD4 class. And then we're going to go ahead and use the entry card class. All right. And the LFR asset item class. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and close the top div. All right, next we can go ahead and close the div together. All right, and these are just some classes. Again, we're using a mixture of Bootstrap and Clay classes to take care of all of the styling for us. Okay, so we have our basic div structure here. Now we want to go ahead and continue building from here. And for this section, we're going to create a new div as well. It's going to have its own set of card classes. So go ahead and make the div structure with the class here. And we're going to go ahead and use the card type asset class. All right, we're going to use the form check class. We're going to use the form check card class, the form check top left class, and then the image card class. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and close this class together. Now, alternatively to all of this, you go ahead and simply use a snippet that we have for this. It's going to be 10.1, the optional template div structure. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on here. I'm going to go ahead and create another div here. Okay. All right, and for this one, I'm going to set a couple of classes here for container fluid and container fluid max small. Okay, this gives us some responsive design here. We can close this div as well. All right, so now that we have this div structure with some of these responsive classes as well as the card and form classes, we can add in a new snippet here to include the card code for our assets. Okay, so go ahead and type in LFR. Go ahead and find the 11th snippet called card asset. All right, and bring that right in. All right, so what this does is it gives us our card and card asset type class here. All right, we have the aspect ratio and card item first, and then we have here using some of our variables, we have the view URL, and then we can check out the actual images for our blogs here as the link. Okay, so this is the header section here. And then of course we need the body section, so go ahead and highlight the body section here. All right, and type in LFR and find that 12th snippet there. Okay, this is going to give us our card body, and in a card row, we're going to have the title and the subtitle. And again, we're using the variables that we set up top here to get things like the URL, the entry title, okay, and then we also get things like the display date for the author, etc. All right, so this gives us our full ADT. All right, if you want to make this simple for yourself, you can find the full file in the solution, and you can just use it from there. But let's go ahead and add this ADT to our new asset publisher. So first we need to add it to the platform, and then we need to use it in the asset publisher. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the browser here. Make sure you are logged in and open the menu. Go to the site administration panel here, and then go to build and application display templates. Okay. We're going to go ahead and click on add here, and we will create an asset publisher template. And this gives us the editor. You can either create an ADT in this editor, and you can use some of these helpful variables, or we can just simply add in the code by doing it the way we did or by choosing a file here. Okay, but first let's go ahead and give it a name. Okay, so we're going to call this one card display template dash blogs. Okay, and then let's go ahead and open up our completed code here. All right, we're going to copy this and then just paste it right into the editor, replacing the default text there. Okay, so once you've done that, go ahead and click Save. All right, and now that we have this, we need to actually set our new ADT on our asset publisher. Okay, so first we'll click on Go to Site in the Site Administration panel. I'm going to close the menu here. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to configure the asset publisher briefly and then set our display settings. Okay, so click on Options and Configuration. All right, I'm not going to go into all the details of the configuration here. That is saved for our content management course. All right, but what we're going to do is we're going to set it so that we are displaying blogs and then we are using our new ADT. Okay. All right, so go ahead and open up the source section and change the asset type to blog entry. Okay. And then click on the display settings. It's going to be at the very top. And change the display template to the card display template blogs. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and leave everything here except for the number of items to display. Go ahead and change that to 6 so that we'll show 6 blogs at a time as they come in. And for pagination, go ahead and change this to regular. Then we can go ahead and click Save. All right, and we can exit out of this. And now we have our Asset Publisher ADT showing our new blogs as cards. Okay, and if we wanted to, we could change the title. We could do something like recent blogs or something like that. And now it looks much nicer than it did before. Okay. All right, so again, this is how you control the presentation of a number of our different widgets and different kinds of assets on the platform. All right. Feel free to create your own ADTs using the patterns that we used for this particular ADT. I would encourage you to pause, give it a shot, create something, get it working, and set it up and see how it looks. So in the next section, what we'll do is we will take a look at web content templates specifically and how they are different from the sort of generic ADTs. All right, so I'll see you in the next section.